Cheers! Welcome to my channel. Thank you for showing up. And also thank you for your likes and your comments and subscribes. I really appreciate it, as it is empowering me to build my channel. This is a general or collective reading from Tattletales from Tales from the Vector. I already did 1 minute wash on the cards and shuffled. I'm just giving them a quick cut here and we'll begin. So I'm looking for the underlying energy. Here we have the underlying energy of this reading. And we have the Magician. I think we had the Magician a couple of readings ago. The last few readings have been really, very different. Having said that, they all have felt really powerful. A lot of major arcana. And the Magician is like, when is in the major arcana, it's the first step that the Fool takes when they begin their new cycle or their new journey. And the Magician has all the tools that he needs to make things happen. And like any tool, if you leave tools laying around, they're not going to benefit you. So the Magician has an infinity symbol above the head, and he's wearing an Ouroboros around his waist. So the infinity symbol is an indication of infinite possibilities, and the Ouroboros is also that same symbol of possibility, but it also is, because it is either a snake or a dragon chasing its tail, it's also saying don't get caught, in a loop. And he is pointing up to the heavens with his wand and down to earth. So this card is like showing that the energy is coming from above, and he's bringing it down into the 3D. An awesome start to a reading. And then look at who we have here. We have the Fool. I was just checking quickly here to make sure that this Fool is in the right place for the reading. So yeah, this is a really good start. This is saying this is a new cycle happening here. And the Fool is beginning his journey. And he is, he doesn't have a lot of baggage with him. So basically the Fool is not like your whole lifetime, but it's the beginning of a new cycle in your life. And we have the Queen of Swords here next. And so the Queen of Swords is facing actually away from the Fool. So I'm getting that this is saying that the Queen of Swords, to be able to go on this journey, had to cut through the bullshit. That's what she does. She's sitting on her throne. She has her left hand reaching out, saying, I'm willing to receive, but whatever comes as I begin this journey, you had better be coming in straight, or I'm just not going to put up with it. And then we have the Hermit. So the Hermit has gone up to the top of the mountain, and the Hermit goes up to the mountain to confer with God and to gain enlightenment. And that's what the lantern represents. So once he has gained the enlightenment, then he comes down from the mountain and he shares his wisdom with himself and others to go on this journey. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is about multitasking, about juggling, having a lot to do, being... So this is basically saying to me that there's some magic that could happen here, and it's on a new cycle, but there is going to be some work involved here for sure, and it's going to require, bringing two extremes together, like to get both ends of that infinity symbol that he's holding, that it may require times where you're super busy. You've had time to rest, now it's time to go to work. You've been up in the mountain long enough, time to come down and get something done. And here we have the energy of the Seven of Swords. Yeah, so in the past, this card is a walking contradiction. He's carrying these swords, and it looks like he may have stolen them from the village behind him. He's looking backwards and moving forwards and and he's left 2 swords behind. And for what reason? Did he place those 2 swords there and take the other swords, or did he, is he doing this because of he's wishes ill will on the village, or is it because he's taken the swords so that they don't have to fight? That this is the energy of this walking contradiction. And this energy actually it's kind of sneaky. So it's something, it can go either way, because it also at the same time indicates innovative thinking, and you have to take it in context with the rest of the cards here. So we'll see as we go along here. Sometimes also what this can indicate is someone that's on the autism spectrum, because that's one of the symptoms that doctors pick up like early in a child's development, is when babies that are learning to walk are walking on their toes. And so that could be a different way of thinking, that could, because autistic people think differently from the average person, and sometimes that energy is absolutely genius. So that's what I'm getting, is that the potential here is a lot, but it's going to require thinking in a new way, being willing to go on a new, on this new cycle in a new way, and bringing the wisdom down, like from what you've learned while you were resting, and bring that into this energy. And then look at that, it's raining money. So, hi Stella, did you hear that? It's raining money. So Stella likes the energy of this reading. Yeah, that's a good girl. Now go away, please. Thank you for putting your 2 cents in, the 2 cents into the 10. So this energy is all about being in a place where whatever the actions that you've taken have caused a lot of abundance to come in. And the pentacles are raining down, like and it's not like the pentacles represent money, but they also represent abundance in all forms. So this, this is someone that's stopping to chat with neighbors, and there's 2 dogs, and there's like a large mansion in the background there. And so it's kind of like a card of saying that you've arrived. After some hardship. This card is really coming up a lot in my readings, and I'm just getting that it's because it's very much like this energy. This card can be taken, and this card. This card can be taken in the context of a never-ending nightmare or enlightenment from source energy. And because we have this Fool on a new journey, it feels like the nightmare is over because they're starting a new cycle. And it also feels like this may have been from the information that the hermit received while going up to the mountain, to the top, and meditating and praying and figuring out, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to have an upgrade in my life? Okay, because this person has been left out in the cold. The bottom line here, I'm building a pyramid in this reading, and the bottom line here indicates what you need, like your basic needs to be able to manifest or, to accomplish what the underlying energy of the reading is about. And so there's a lot of opportunity here. Definitely going to have to do things in a different way. It's going to require some multitasking. You might be busy at times with this, but it has a lot of potential to bring in wealth, health, and happiness. And this can be an indication. It's a big change in the way things were. And this could be like an indication. I'm getting this card actually is representing the energy of, if you take the tools and you use the tools that you have and you put them into action, You will no longer be left out in the cold, and this abundance here will be, for you to enjoy. And you'll notice that the Hermit has snow at the bottom of the feet, and there's snow here. So that's indicating, I feel that this is indicating what the information that the Hermit needs to overcome the obstacles to manifest this magic into being. Yeah, there's been some sorrow here. This Five of Cups is a card of regret. It's basically crying over spilt milk. And and it's interesting because look at the 2 swords standing here and the 2 cups standing here. And it's kind of saying the fight is over. Just the 3 cups that spilled, don't focus on them. Focus on the 2 that are left standing. And I'm getting that this card is really indicating an innovative way of thinking, a real change in your ability to, and what's coming up is it may require forgiveness. Forgiveness is for the person who's forgiving, because what it is saying to the universe is, I'd rather be better than bitter. And I am ready to move forward, and I am ready to let the consequences of other people's actions get boomerang back to them. And I'm not going to suffer anymore because of other people's actions. I'm willing to take responsibility and for my actions and move forward to manifest. That's because this is the manifestation row. So that's pretty cool. And then, yes, and in the past, I'm just getting, because we have the 2 of Swords here, that there was a kind of a confusion in the mind of that it had to be done this way or that way. And there was the person couldn't see if you were in a situation like this, you could not see the potential. You couldn't see how to get out of it. It's like you were blindfolded, but you weren't. There's this island across the shore here that you could just put down the swords and go, or take them with you and cross the emotional waters to go onto new land and start a new journey. And the new moon is crescent moon is in the background representing a new moon, and that is all about stepping into a new way of being. Plus we have the 2 of Pentacles, so juggling those options, and then instead of those 2 options, using your innovation to be able to find 2 new options. That's what I'm getting. Like, so this is like, this energy is now been removed because the solution, there's a creative solution in the making here, and it's ending this cycle of feeling trapped, being in a mental prison, not being able to understand which way to go or how to do something to improve your life. And that's sitting right on the Hermit with this new information coming down from the mountain, and this person juggling back and forth, and that emotion is represented in the waves here in the background. You notice the waves start off smaller and they're gaining momentum, and I feel like that is an indication that this new journey has been a while in the making, and the mental prison is over, and now we are ready to step forward. And you can see that that this person actually has 1 foot on land here, and that is the right foot, and that is an energy of ready to step forward and do something. And the left foot is about emotions and, and not being able to, looking for creative solutions. But you'll notice that her foot is in very shallow water here. So it's just indicating that maybe the snow melted and it's time to move forward. We have fulfillment. Yes, there we go. So the fulfillment is This card sometimes represents marriage. It can also be a marriage of your intellectual, logical capabilities with your intuition, your creative solutions. That sometimes this card represents using your intuition instead of your logic, and to find that third, better way of moving forward into this new way, into this new journey. And the fulfillment card is, you'll notice the people are on the other side with the mansion, and they are in able, like this is indicating this possibility that if this is you, that you've chosen, okay, I'm going to let go of the regret, I'm going to forgive myself, forgive others, let them take responsibility for the cause and effect of their actions so it doesn't affect me anymore. And I can now move on in this new way, let go of the pain, like from the overthinking and feeling trapped, and move into this new way. And this person or you have chosen this new way of being and have accepted the magic, the energetic upgrade to be able to, you've already entered the portal. You're on the other side here of the wands. And this represents the 1111 portal, which is a portal of abundance. This portal, 1111, it's a funny thing. Like once you've entered that portal, you'll start noticing like the clock when it's at 1111, or license plates with 111, or addresses with 111. And that is a reminder to watch your stinking thinking and, really set your sights on what it is you want, rather than being trapped by the mental energy of not getting what you want. Yes, and the Page of Wands is coming in with communication, saying, yes, this has been a good first step, is what I'm getting to take. It's just to enter this new way of thinking and move forward in this new way. And the Page of Wands is very passionate and fiery and a youthful person. And he's like very much inspired by this wand. And he wants, and by moving forward in this way. And you'll see like the Fool also has like a staff, very similar. And at the top of his staff, he has very little baggage to carry with him. That's because when you forgive others and you forgive yourself, you return the responsibility of the consequences of the cause and effect of the karma back to them, and you let go of it, and you're able then to change your life and move forward again in a much lighter way. And then we have the King of Pentacles. So yes, this is saying that you've now adopted this energy of the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is a very solid person that is really looked up to for their financial acumen. They are very good with bringing what our dreams or whatever into reality in the 3D, and being able to focus on the tools. And money is a tool. Information is a tool. So if you can bring that information and bring that, the energy of that down to earth and really make shift happen, and in a stable way. This is the King of Pentacles represents legacy. It represents generational wealth, something that will last. And then we have a whole new world. So the world is here, a different world, sitting here from this inspiration, and not putting up with the same old, to allow yourself to make the choice to move into this new portal for all this abundance, and have a whole new different world around you, like your environment. I'm getting this card is saying this is the card 21 in the major arcana. And so it is the end of the Fool's journey. So this Fool has already gone through this journey and is off now, has made this decision, has crossed into this new portal, is absolutely focused on bringing this abundance in and living in a totally different way. So that's how quickly this cycle is, because we're right now, this is what you need, this is obstacles, and now this is having the courage to do what you need to be able to move forward. And we have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is bringing in a cup of love and very much in control of those emotions. Do you see that? Like he's sitting out on the water on his throne, and he also has his right foot forward. Now the kings and the queens and all of the cards in the tarot are archetypes. So the king could be a man or a woman in their masculine energy, and we have these both kings, and I like to see that because this shows that this king and this king combined are not just focused on money and material things, but also focused on what brings true pleasure, what's in the heart's desires. What did you authentically want to achieve, in this lifetime? Really, really good energy. Yeah, and then I feel like this could represent, because we have this is the marriage card of the tarot deck, and this and creating a family. And this is the soulmates card, and two people coming together and, exchanging cups. This also can represent the merging of this energy of these, the King of Pentacles choosing to have the abundance in all ways, in all areas of life, not just financially or on a material level, but being able to get together with the higher self, with his higher self, her higher self, to be able to manifest this other way of living that is more fulfilling in every area of life, not just in the material world. And and having the courage and the strength to be able to go another round. If you've ever been like in this place where it requires strength to face your fears. And you notice that this young woman is facing her fears. That's what the lion represents, that your fears, and a lot of that time that is from your childhood. And she has the same symbol above her head as the magician. So what was required to manifest this and to overcome obstacles is to change your thinking and be able to bring this energy of what you dream about and your creativity, bringing that into your actual physical world. And perhaps there could be with someone else, having the courage to have another relationship is what's coming up. If you've been hurt in the past, being able to face those fears and say, I deserve to have that in my life, and that's what I want, and that's what I'm going to have the courage to have as a possibility in my life. Yeah. And then that death card is a card of transition. So I'm just getting, this could be for some of you, someone who said, I am never going to be in a relationship again. That's the Queen of Swords. She's been there, done that. She's really not willing to put up with a lot of bullshit. Quite often, the King and Queen of Swords are a divorced or a separated couple if they appear together. There is no King of Swords here, but the Queen is here. And she's like, cut the bullshit or off with your heads. So she can be quite cold and analytical about relationships that she allows into her life, because she does not wish to repeat the cycle of being, this energy of being injured, hurt, being left out, all of that energy. And that's what, but that is stinking thinking. Someone left a comment regarding stinking thinking, and it just made me laugh. So it's coming up in this reading. So the death, it's death of stinking thinking and a new way of being. There's the sun in the background coming up between those two pillars representing justice. And, you know, the energy is like everything that was solid and you thought was always going to be the way it is has now been trampled. Like the king is down on the ground, just representing that transition, because the king represents, these kings represent like the way that they think. So when you start having two kings show up like this, and one is talking about, you know, abundance on the material level, and the other one's talking abundance of love. This can also be a love of what you do, maybe having to accept less material things and maybe less money for your work, but it's something you love to do. So you're willing to make that compromise. So this doesn't necessarily have to be a love reading, but it is possible that it is. And you'll notice that the old woman here is turning away. She doesn't want to look at the transition. That's the old thinking. And the young child is holding a flower, like a bloom, representing this new way of being. So that's really good. And the flag there sometimes can represent the light at the end of the tunnel. So if you've been in a real stuck place and you're having a challenging time to get over something that's happened to you, or that, you know, that it could be something that was out of your control, or it could be something because of other people's actions and your actions or reactions, that never-ending nightmare is now shifted, and there's, you know, death to that. And the enlightenment is here now from the hermit and the magician to move forward. And you have what you need here to do so. Yes, and there we have the high priestess. So the high priestess is coming in, and she's sitting on the King of Cups and the soulmates. And this, again, I'm getting could be a person saying, I am going to confer with my higher self, like the hermit energy here. And now that I'm ready to have creative solutions and bring both these energies into what I bring down to earth. That's and she's sitting between those two pillars, like representing, like moving through. So she's telling basically the fool, make sure you go through the portal. Like that was a good choice. And then we have, and what I just picked up also is like between these two extremes of overthinking and not being able to, like you can be in a position where you're overthinking, and then you can also be in a position where you're not using your logic enough to bring your intuition down to earth. So you need to use both those aspects to be able to manifest and to upgrade your energy. And so the Queen of Pentacles is in now. So and she's sitting on this whole new world in between the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So perhaps the Queen of Swords has had a change of heart and feels that she's willing to risk what she has now to get into another relationship and to put an end to, you know, that energy of not being willing to accept a cup of love. And so she's focused on her abundance, but I'm getting she's focused on her abundance because she's accepted the cup from that energy of the cup. She's accepted it and recognizes she can move forward and have what she wants without, you know, having to compromise her position. Woohoo! And then the 10 of Cups comes in. So this is really good energy. This is like these people just reconfirming that, wow, that was a really good move to go through that portal and to make this decision, to take the time to be able to forgive and move forward. Really cool. And then we have the Emperor coming in. So the Emperor embodies all the qualities of the four kings in the minor arcana. The Emperor is all about performance. And this is, like, this row is heart's desires. And then this is about speaking it into being, like taking the actions that you need to take to be able to make this happen, like this performance happen. And the Emperor is, you'll notice he's got his armor underneath his cloak. So he's always ready for action. If something needs to be done, he'll do it. But like this energy of the hermit and, holding back until the timing is right, until he has all the information that he needs to be able to move forward in a really good way, and to, like, a steady person is what's coming up. Someone that knows the ways of the world and knows how to communicate those in ways to make shift happen. And then we have reconciliation. So that's really interesting, because when you have, like, the first step to reconciliation is forgiveness. So a person can choose to forgive another person or people or themselves, and they can choose to reconcile with the other people, or reconcile. This is more about reconciliation of childhood wounds and the fears that have come up because of that, and put those fears to rest so that they can gain a new perspective and move forward to get what they really want in life. And so this is confirmation that the forgiveness took place. Perhaps this person has chosen to reconcile with someone, or this could be this reconciliation here of reconciling with your higher self, to be like the high priestess, using your intuition and moving into this way of community. There's flowers in the cups. This is, this is the only card where there's flowers in the cups like this, that they're filled. And the flowers represent being able to, grow, to be able to cause beauty in the world, to accept beauty in your life. And the Knight of Swords comes through now. So the Knight of Swords is another message coming in, and he's in a hurry to deliver this message. He's, his horse looks stressed out, like it's been running hard, and it's kind of like the wind is against them. I'm just feeling that in this reading, that for whatever reason, this Knight of Swords is concerned that he won't get there in time. So it's about, okay, so reconciling that also. It feels like this could be an apology coming in. Sometimes that's what this card is representing. And it could be like, I need to get there, and I need, sometimes when this card represents a fool rushing in, or someone that took actions in the past that when they didn't have the full information, and now this regret of the actions that they took, and they're wanting to right a wrong, that it can represent several things. But one thing it does represent is that the communication is coming in, and this is in the communication row of my pyramid here. So this is about the heart's desires, coming in with the heart's desires and making this happen. Like, that's what the Emperor is doing. So this reconciliation can be between, like, just a person. This could be you reconciling your fears and accepting this new way of being and communicating with yourself this way. Or it can represent, because there's a lot of cups in here, and the marriage card and the soulmates card, this can be someone that you are reconciling with. And we have the Ace of Wands. So that's the action that's being taken. This is a gift from the universe. This is a gift from God. This is like saying, here you go. Your passion for, the passion that the Page of Wands brings in, the way that you've been communicating with yourself and with others, your ability to forgive has, you've earned this reward of being able to move forward now in your life in a much more pleasant way. Yes, and it required patience. When we go inward and we confer with ourselves in that way, and we face our shadow side, it can require a lot of patience to be able to get to this point, and that's okay. Like it's not an easy journey sometimes, is what it's saying, to end the nightmare. But it will be worth it once you get there. And that's what I'm getting. It's requiring juggling of your mind, of how do you want to be? Do you want to stay like this, or do you want to move forward? That's the kind of energy. And so temperance is also about devotion to your purpose in life. And your purpose in life is to be a better version of yourself. So when you're doing that, it sometimes requires, like these two cups here, it requires, pouring back and forth, conferring with your higher self, like, which way should I go? Please help me. I'm really working on this, but I'm not there yet. And that's what this path leading to the sun in the distance is showing, that eventually you will get there. And you notice that the right foot is in the waters here of this. This feels like spa water, like stepping into healing water, healing emotions, being able to think differently and speak to yourself differently, and so that you can allow yourself. And then we have at the top the Lovers with the sun. So this is clearly, if you're looking, if you've been looking for love in all the wrong places, perhaps this time it might work out, and if you've been really searching within yourself to become a more loving person, congratulations, you've also been able to accomplish that. And it's it's not something to be taken lightly, because it required a lot of work on yourself, a lot of shadow work. But what this is saying, if you're not there yet, because the tarot doesn't really have a specific time, so this could be in the past for some people, it could be happening right now, or it could be in the future. And so the journey from the past to the top of the pyramid and back down, so this is a new cycle, definitely, because this is an upgrade in energy. And the Fool started off on the journey, and the first card after the Fool is the Magician. So this is the attitude, because this is all about attitude down here. This is the attitude that you have taken. Congratulations on that, because it's going to require a good attitude to be able to put this into action, and then be able to manifest and be steadfast in that, just like the King, be a steady person, and to look at all the abundance and fulfillment is here, and being able to bring that into being. And like the Emperor is all about performance, and it may have taken you a while to get here. You may have had to have more than one relationship that didn't work out, and a lot of times that's because of the fears we have around relationships from when we're children. But that, the way we were raised, or if there was divorce in your family, it can be a bazillion things, really. So the temperance is having patience with yourself and with others, and then having the benefit of, either being in love with yourself or being in love with someone. And then this passion coming in and allowing yourself to feel it. And that, you don't need to wait anymore. I'm getting that's what this card is saying. And it's a transition from the old way of being to the new way, because you faced your fears and you don't want to be left out in the cold anymore. And if there was, it felt like you were in a never-ending nightmare, the enlightenment did come in when you were up on the mountain. And so that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to clarify this energy some more with my oracle, Tales from the Vector. That's Tails. This is an oracle that I started. I started working on the paintings in 2007. I completed all 64 paintings finally in 2020. I had a lot of fun. I'm an artist, so I was really inspired to do it. There was some very big dragon paintings from the Intergalactic Federation of Light in the major arcana. And now I'm working on, in a bigger way with you to get the information, because I want to bring my tarot deck out, or my oracle deck out, and be able to bring it out and not have to, do the information twice. And so the more information I gather, then when I feel ready, I will write the book that goes with it and bring that beautiful oracle into being. All right, so we have at the bottom of the deck, denial, which is a tactic, and that's clarifying this energy. So I'm getting that. This energy is saying that, yes, there is a lot of potential here. However, you have all the tools here, but if you just leave tools laying around, you may have noticed this, they don't go to work for you. So don't deny that this change has occurred, that this energy is shifting, so that you can take advantage of it and move forward in a way better way. Yeah, you're going to be a superstar. So this is all about harmony. And I'm getting a lot of the energy here is about self-talk. Like, how do you talk to yourself? Making sure that you pay attention to that. So because whenever we're starting off on a new cycle, you want to make sure that, the words that you're saying to yourself are going to empower you. So the Queen of Swords, she's like, off with their heads. So, you don't want to be bitter rather than better. You want to make sure that you balance that need to be able to really look out for yourself and to be aware and not deny that things have happened. And, people will show you who they are the first time. A lot of times we give people too many chances and we don't believe them when they say, this is who I am, the first time. And so we have to get a second lesson in it. And this is about surrender. So this is on this is a major accomplice. This is someone who finally has decided, okay, I'm going to surrender this energy to, the Most High. I'm going to climb up that mountain and I'm going to confer with God and the universe, and I'm going to find the answers, and I'm going to stay there until I'm ready and I can come down and change this. And then we have All-Star, which is the third eye, and that is sitting on this iffy energy, and this is being full of insight. So All-Star is insightful. They able to use intuition. That's sitting right here. So I feel that's clarifying. This card is about that this person was able to end that stinking thinking with the All-Star, like with the third eye energy, going inward and finding the answers from within. Yeah, and perhaps there was some energy around here. If a father figures is another major accomplice, like to the reasons why people repeat mistakes, etc. And if you don't have a strong father figure when you're a child, or if a male or female, if it doesn't matter, you sometimes have to learn the hard way, because you look for that energy in other people around you, and someone that, you know, represents that father energy. So if you're in that position, I feel like this is saying surrender to the Most High, surrender to God. You know, like allow that energy to come in, because when we meditate, as much as we meditate, we're still meditating with ourselves and with the experiences that we have in life. And you know, some people will say, well, I don't believe in God. Well, you don't need to believe in God, but you could get to know God and then make a judgment that way, because that would be like saying, I don't know Bob from across the world, but you do, so he doesn't exist. Like, he doesn't exist for you, but you know, the vast majority of people on the planet do have a belief in God, and that affects you either way. Like, it doesn't matter if you believe in it or not, because there's so many people on the planet that do. It is either going to have a negative or positive effect on you. So you may as well look into the energy, you know, and see if it improves your life. The need to be right. And so, yeah, and what's coming up is not making mountains out of molehills. So this is a karmic space that a lot of times we fall into. It's really common. Sometimes we need to be right. It saves our life. But sometimes the need to be right comes more from an emotional place where we've been hurt, and now we need to be right. Like the wrong has to be righted. It's really not up to us as individuals to judge other people's actions. It's only it's our responsibility to be able to judge our own reactions, you know, and not react to what's happening around us. And I have to be right about this, but moving into a place where you're willing to move forward in a different way because it's going to benefit you. And then we have the falling star energy. So that is the energy of the heart chakra, being unfettered, accepting the love in your life, accepting, and this is right on the soulmates. And also, if you look at it from the perspective of connecting with your higher self and being able to get in that position where you are really strong to you know, the information that you're receiving from your intuition, as well as applying that logically into the world. And then we have Battle Star. So Battle Star is all about having the courage to be able to face those fears and how it all happened, and then be able to change it, like making the effort to do so. And quite often, people, when they are really upset, they hold their breath and they don't breathe life in. So make sure you're willing to breathe new life into your life. Yeah, because then we have the Capricorn. Capricorn is all about ambition, and it's about having, like, on the actual physical world, having material goods, etc. Also, it's understanding that there's a responsibility when you acquire a lot of coin. It requires a lot of energy to manage it properly, and also about, you know, understanding what you really want, what are your authentic desires, so that, you know, you don't get caught in a trap of not really getting what you want, having faced all these challenges, receiving the possibilities, and then thinking, I'm still not happy. That's what this is about. It's moving into this place where you're willing to have all areas of life in fulfillment. And then we have the Magician is coming up here on this fulfillment. And the Magician is saying, yes, that's what I'm saying. Use the tools, use the tools. They're not going to use themselves. And then we have abuse of power. So some energy around this came up. This is another karmic area that people fall into. And this can be about falling for illusions. Like I said, not believing people when they show you who they are the first time. So then going in for another round with them. So this is a warning for if you're going to reconcile with someone, make sure that you have done your shadow work on yourself, and that you're not, falling into another illusion, because you can forgive and just choose to move on. You don't have to hang out with people that you don't want to hang out with anymore, but you can still forgive them. And then we have the Virgo energy coming in. This energy also has been coming in because it requires a certain amount of maturity. This is, Virgo's at the age of a stage of life where they're a young adult. And it's ruled by Mercury. And it's just reminding me again that quite often, because it's sitting right on this card, and I was saying that perhaps in the past you didn't have all the information, or you didn't believe the information or take that information seriously, and now you want to correct it. Mercury in retrograde actually gives us a chance to slow down a little bit and really look into things that we're working on, so that we don't repeat cycles or energy that's, mistake energy. And that requires you to really be analytical about yourself, to experiment with new ways of doing things, and also, to be aware of your self-talk. Like, are you beating yourself up? Because sometimes we can be the most mean to ourselves. That's why when people tell you to believe in yourself, be careful that you don't believe certain things about yourself that aren't true, that are holding you back. So the intention, we want to strengthen that, that you're aware of your intent. Like, what is the intent of other people? What is the intent of you? Because just because you enjoy someone's company and they perhaps enjoy yours, doesn't mean that they're in sync with what you want in life. And sometimes we find that out the hard way. And sometimes they are in sync. And this is saying, yes, you've learned that lesson. So if you're going to engage in another, and the word engage came up, so that could be like, this could be a proposal of marriage, with the marriage card here, and right above that, the fulfillment, the family, the lovers, that energy. And then we have Taurus. So Taurus energy is also a very earth energy, it's the baby energy of Capricorn. So this is like someone that throws temper tantrums when they don't get their own way sometimes. So it's understanding how to share, how to give and take, and be able to not have like meltdowns within yourself or with others, not allowing your temper to get the best of you, so that you end up abusing your power, or you allow yourself to be abused by power. Because if someone is abusing you and you accept that, then you are starting now to be part of the problem, because you're abusing yourself. And the answer to that is being able to forgive, yourself and others, and return that energy back to who it belongs to, rather than carrying that burden yourself, or throwing a fit about it, or, not taking responsibility. So the Capricorn energy is a more grown-up version of the Taurus energy. And it's saying, it's sitting on temperance. So this is saying, this requires patience. And then we have, for the final, we have on the lovers, disruption. So this is another tactic. And yeah, it's just coming up that perhaps this love for yourself, or the love for what you do, or the love you have for this other person, the plans that you made together, whatever, were disrupted. But sometimes that can be for the better, like God works in mysterious ways, and perhaps you weren't ready yet, and now you are ready. So don't allow yourself to be held back by old energy. Move forward. You have all the tools, you're able to manifest it, you've done the work, and there's a lot of fulfillment here. I really like this reading. So I hope you've also enjoyed it. If you have, please do hit that like button. And thank you again. If you resonate, subscribe. I will be back with another reading for you tomorrow. Bye for now.